Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Yeliz, and today I'll be walking you through how we can design impactful, intuitive user experiences using Power Apps. Whether you're a developer, designer, or product owner, this session is all about blending psychology, design, and technology to create apps that truly resonate with users. What is UX? Let's start with UX, user experience. UX design focuses on how an application feels to the user, and it's not just about functionality, it's about how users feel when they interact with your app. Are they frustrated or delighted, confused or confident? UX design is about understanding those emotions and crafting experiences that feel natural, helpful, and even enjoyable. What is UI, user interface? UI design focuses on how an application looks, is what users see, and it is the layout, the colors, the buttons, the icons. While UX is about emotion and flow, UI is about visual clarity and consistency. A well-designed UI helps users trust the app and navigate it effortlessly. The psychology of user interaction. Great design anticipates user needs without them having to say a word. As someone with a psychology background, I love this part. Design is deeply psychological. Users are driven by speed, simplicity, and visual appeal. If we overload them cognitively, they disengage. But if we guide them gently, using familiar patterns and emotional cues, we build trust and connection. Guiding attention through design. Visual hierarchy. Design is a silent guide. Visual hierarchy is its invisible power to direct attention without words. We can say design is silent communication. Through contrast, white space, and typography, we guide the user's eye without saying a word. Planning this flow with wireframes or prototypes helps us create interfaces that feel intuitive and purposeful. Shaping perception. Users should be able to navigate intuitively, supported by familiar cues and inclusive design. Users form opinions in seconds. That's why intuitive design matters. Familiar layouts, clear feedback, and inclusive accessibility features all shape how users perceive your app. If it feels familiar and responsive, they will keep coming back. And next one is our live demo. We will design power-up screens in Canvas apps by using less code, more experience. Thank you for listening this presentation. And now if I just switch the screens and go to Power Apps. Um, So I've got three screens here. One UI component screens, one UX principal screen, one design pattern screens. These three screens, if I just play like this, it's created using prompt in Copilot. Um, which I would like to show the difference between how Copilot designed very simple and but very clear screens, how we're gonna design differently by using our UI UX principles. So we'll well in these three screens, there is no link between the screens. So we need a kind of like welcome screen and these screens here. So we'll try to design this from scratch. It gives us just when we click on the UI or UX, it's gonna take us the specific screen linked to the based on the button through the correct screen. So if we just create from scratch, if we just add new screen here, just blank. So what we're gonna do here, we used different components. I would say like containers, buttons, icons, images, and drop downs. So if we go here, we need to add insert, we say container. This is my favorite power-ups component. If I add the container, um, quickly move them like this. We can add user profile as well to welcome the end user. If we quickly add, we can change the, to make it more obvious, we can change the, oops, drop shadow to bold. And we can change the border radius to, I don't know, maybe 11 to make it more. And maybe it's too dark, maybe semi-bold would be better. Yeah. So then we can add another container inside the container to create an image and make that container round. To be able to round it, we can do, say, change the width to 88 and height 88, and border radius can be the same. And if we add the drop shadow, like we can do semi-bold, and we can add image inside this container to link this first section as a UI component, to link this section with the UI component screen. So we already uploaded the pictures, images here. So if we can go and edit, insert, if you go there, go media, and it was this one. And if we can just fill, maybe fits. Yeah. So we need to make sure it should be a little bit, the size should be a little bit bigger, shorter. What we're gonna do, but once we complete the first section, we're gonna just duplicate and make the necessary amendments for the rest of the sections. So that will save time for us. Sometimes it's these containers, selecting them might be tricky. So it's always good to check which components on the tree view sides. No, it's just changing. 88. Maybe we should do 100. It's a bit small. It felt a little bit small. It's important the size of the components as well. So if we do 800, yeah, and the image should be same, oops, with the container to fill it in. Uh, yeah, looks better. If I just quickly close this, make it narrower. Maybe it feels like we can put another container and just move this whole container into this container and move that. Let's make it like a range of selections for 3 screens. And we can put up there the profile view of the end user. So if I just move this, yeah. And quickly, if we add the sections, if we just checked from the other screens, UI component screen and drop down and the button. So what we're gonna add, quickly a label, insert a text label, make sure there's text label and just type it quickly here, just UI, and make it a little bit semi-bold and maybe 22 font size. And was it, oops, was it UI component screens? Okay, we named it like that. Say UI components screen. So it would give the user information when they click on the button on this section. If you say, I don't know, 15 maybe, just make it bigger. When they click the button on this section, they're gonna land to UI component screen. So it's informative. You should make sure what we design should be informative for the user. I think semi-bold would be, I think normal should be, yeah, much clearer like this. Maybe a slightly smaller size, maybe 13. So it's important also for the end user, the accessibility. So I think it's minimum 11, but it depends the components. Some components it's 11, size 11 or 12 can be too big for that component. So we can make the relate the adjustments for that. So let's add a drop down quickly. Drop down. I will add a classic drop down. You should be quick. Yep. Like this. And just drop down sample. We can say what we have in here. UI components are drop down label gallery button tab. So we can go and add our drop down, just hard coding. Say button and oops, should be button gallery. What else we have? Button gallery and you can say drop down as well here. So, and then we can add a button quickly, insert classic button, and let's change the colors as well to make it. Once we are happy with section, first section, we'll duplicate it for the rest of it. And quickly, if you check what we did, change the color and change the buttons and make the button drop down shadow as well. I think we put button in container as well to be able to have the that drop shadow. So if you go back to our screen, so there are multiple containers, so we can put the components like button or drop down or as we use for image into containers and use drop shadow, which would make those components more visually make it look nicer. So if we create another container quickly and put control X, put the button into container and move the container and make the container and put the button starting from 0 to 0. So where is the and if you just drag it, drag the container and put it somewhere here. And if we change the border radius of the container to say 22, and it would look more like a button. And container width maybe change as 440 and 44. If we do the same for the button, 144 and 44 height. Yes. And if we make the container, maybe was it 44 too much? Yeah. And if we change the if we give the drop shadow to bold maybe, so our button is more visible, but I think when we compare with the other components, button looks too big, so we can change the button size slightly. Maybe instead of 144, 111, maybe make it 33 and change the container as well. And 33. And yeah, and change the container, move to maybe 66 and change the button as name UI. Let's change the color. Was it? Um, we changed the colors here. Green for the fill property. If we go to button, fill property was green. Yes. So if we use the same RGBA from here, we can easily, if we already have the colors RGBA somewhere, so we can just copy paste. A little bit cheating, wouldn't hurt. So Control V. And if you use for hue or fill as well, I think it was burnt orange, if I remember right. Color dots, burnt orange, orange, or color dots, orange, red. Was it red? Orange dot? No. Maybe red. Okay, let's use red one. Yeah, orange red. And then for the select one, quickly, we can do overfill pressed. Pressed fill should be, I think it was purple. This, I don't remember RGBA. So if you do color dot purple, yeah, and our colors change like that. If you do change the text font a little bit slightly because it looks too big, maybe 12. Yeah, and we used here 13 and in button 12. And here uh, it's maybe we can change this as 12 as well. And maybe we can make it to semi-bold. Yeah. And we can change the drop down size like this because our content is not too long, so it should be fine. And we can change the here the drop down font color as well. If you just go here on the properties, drop down, for example, the color for background, hue background, or the color for, let me select drop down, it's dark blue. So we can change it slightly light blue color. We can tell from here the selection. So hue or pressed chevron, hue color. Hmm. That was for the border, I think. And if I go to this one, choose this one. It's not, don't, it should be background color. Huh, this one. Should be that one. Almost there. I think it was disabled. Fill. Hmm. Maybe stop disabled film. You made everything light blue, but still the press color is not the press color, it's just disabled. It's not disabled color. Should be content, should be turn disabled fill. Was it this one? It's not that one. Selection color. Yes, it was just okay. If we do the just selection, maybe different color than that. That would also help. I think selection color here. Maybe, I don't know which goes well. Maybe just slightly pink can work. It wasn't that one. Yeah, I'll get back to this later. So let's because we've got I think 10 minutes left, so I'll be quick to finish the other sections. And if we need to link this with the main screen, UI component screen, what we need to do, we need to go to button component and go to on select property and navigate using navigate function quickly and put the screen name, which is UI component screen, and then um, screen transition. We can choose one of them. You've got 5 options. I always try to, depends on the concept of the screens. We can use different, I always try to use more smooth transitions, which I like uncover right. So we can see the differences between them when we apply the rest of the sections. So if I play, it should take us to UI component screens. And now we need to go back. This was created previously, so I'll just update it quickly for this button to go back, say in back button, if I put back. And then it should take us to our new screen, which is screen 2. If we name this screen as welcome, rename the screen, make it more meaningful, welcome screen. And if we go back to UI components and back button should take us to welcome screen. Again, using navigation and yeah. So if we quickly just uh, copy this container across for other 2 sections to link with the other 2 screens. And we're gonna just change the context and images quickly. And we'll have 3 different sections to link with 3 different screens. If I can just move the container. Sometimes it's very tricky to be able to select. Yeah, and if you change the images quickly, say into just fill, say in tree, and we can just use in the image position because at the moment image position is fit, but it doesn't fill when we use the first image, when we use the um, image position as fill, we lose half of the image. That's why I used as fit. So we can just try which one is the best option for that image for us to use. So if we use fill for this one as well, it's more meaningful for screen. Screen tree is design pattern screen, so let's call it design patterns quickly. Oops. Um, design patterns screen. Let's make it more meaningful for the second section UX principle screen and make it UX, oops, UX principles screen and delete the rest of it and change the buttons and name it UX and make it design patterns. Maybe we can change as 11 or 10. So it's important to make the buttons so because it doesn't fit properly when we use the font size 12 for all of them. So either we can make the button or button container a little bit slightly bigger to apply all of it, which then button should be the same. The width change as 122, but then we should apply. And if we make this instead of 10 because too small, make it 11 and maybe instead of 122, 133 and make it the button 133. Yes, and apply for the rest of it. The size, font size should be 11. Once we apply, so it means the all button features apply same features for all buttons on the screen. It should be aligned with all of it. That's why it's important how it would look, all of them on the same screen. So if you change quickly the container here, 133 width, and the button should be 133, and the font size we changed as 11. Container 133, and the button should be 133, and the font size should be 11. Yeah, and when we change, and we need to name this as UX, and we need to link with the related screens for example, UX. It should take us to what's the screen name we can change as UX principles. Navigate to UX principal screen, which is this one, and screen transition on cover right. And this should be the same. It should be the screen name, should be design pattern screen. So if you change quickly, design pattern screen. Now if you test it, so if you click on the UI component screen button to go to UI components, it's linked and it takes us back to welcome screen. So if we would like to engage with UX principal screen, so it takes us to UX principal and go back to welcome page. And if we go to design pattern screen, a section, and click on the button, takes us to design patterns. So these all works. But this is user wouldn't be able to tell this is welcome landing screen. So if we just quickly add just here a text label, maybe we can do again some nice quickly add a container here to make it user profile with the welcome message and insert the inside the container we can insert a text label quickly, text label, and then say we can say it's something fancy, which is I'll just copy from the welcome to crafting, engage in UI UX in Power Apps, go to welcome and change the quickly the text color maybe orange and make it text size oops a bit bigger if you can go to see and semi bold. Yeah, welcome to Craft and Engage in UI UX in Power Apps. So that would cover these three sections, and we can add a small user profile photograph, which we can again do inside the container, and we can make it the it can be the same size with the other container, which stores the image. We used 100, so we can use again same width and height, which is 100, 100. And for border radius, we can do 100 again, and the border, not border, container drop shadow can be semi-bold, and we can add an image. Previously, I added here in media my user profile photo. Maybe we can do fill. And if you make the container a bit, this container bigger slightly, and move the other container, like maybe 11, say 11, maybe 22, just align with the text. Maybe we can add a border as well, solid border. To change the border color, maybe orange. Oh, it should be container. Video white. It would be like this by video orange. Or it's up to us. We can make it maybe more. Yeah, a little bit gray. So it gives us lots of space on the screen, but using the color, it doesn't make it look busy. So it looks very clean. Um, and if we change the content quickly on the principles, UX principles screen to make it related, we can say user feedback, support. So it should be related information. So we can just go here and say user feedback. Um, User support and keep UI simple. Simple is the best. Keep UI simple. So our drop-down options are like this. And design pattern screens options, what we have in design patterns are user attention, navigation path, user attention, correct input. We can put like that. So if you go here and just quickly change navigation path, and user attention, focus user attention, and ensure correct input. Focus user attention and ensure correct input. Oops. So when the end user looks at the sections easily, they can tell from the information content here. This is related to UI component button, and this is related to UX principle, keep UI simple. Oh, it should be UX principles and yeah, and design patterns, navigation path, or say focus user attention. So that is a part of design patterns as well. And it gives because when we go back UI, and if user starts straight away with this screen, it doesn't give information about the product, what this whole applications, because UI components is just one screen. It doesn't give us the whole product information by combining the three screens. But when we go back to welcome screens, I can tell straight away this product gonna give us information based on UI, UX, and design patterns by clicking through the each section. So hope these sessions helped everyone to explore the new ideas about UI and UX, how we can create impactful engage in UI UX in Power Apps. And thank you so much for listening to me today. I really enjoyed having this session and sharing what I have um, with you guys. Thank you, and see you next one. See you next time.